started working with Wendy when I was, I think, like 12. um, and my mom and I were invited to join a meditation 101 with her. And so we checked it out, and it was cool and interesting. And I was a unique 12-year-old. I wasn't into, all the things everybody else was necessarily, but, so I started doing that with her. I think I took maybe 2 or 3 classes in those first couple of years. And then, my junior year of high school, a lot kind of transitioned, in with the adults in my life. So it wasn't really in my power. I was trying to work through it. And I had went to a counselor, to try and, just get my grasp on myself and, kind of my emotions and everything. And, that was fine. And it helped a little bit, and it helped conceptually with a lot of things. But it wasn't enough. I was still like really torn up, and it was still getting in my way a lot. And so, my mom she was like, well, Wendy does one-on-one counseling, and maybe that would be, or, and working with people, and maybe that would be something that you could try. And it was actually something in my head as well. And so when she suggested, I was like, actually, I think that's great. And so I started working with Wendy, one-on-one when I was 17, I guess. And, starting to use all these meditation tools that I had been taught back, 5 years earlier, and kind of conceptualized and utilized a little bit. But, all of a sudden it was like, hey, okay, let's look at this part of, this specific part of life, that whatever's going on, and let's take, let's put it into, our meditative practice, and work through the tools, and see, if that can help us to move things spiritually, which then can move things along physically. And it changed my life. I'm drastically grown and developed and able to function in this world in a way that I would not have been able to if I didn't have those tools. She worked with me through my college process. As a music person, you audition, you do, it's like this big process to get to your undergrad, and, worked through all of that with me with tools. And then I had all of these options to choose from, and that was not great because it was great, but decisions are hard. I came out after being so indecisive and so unsure, and I knew exactly what was right. I knew exactly what the perfect next step was, the next decision, how it would fulfill all of the things I wanted. And I think anybody in their early 20s and late teens, they have so much like tumult and self-identification, and like learning who you are, and you leave your home for the first time, and you're living on your own, and you have to figure out things for yourself. And I worked with Wendy through that whole process, gave me so many things that I could like anchor to. I became a first-year teacher, and the world was awful. Like middle schoolers are not kind humans ever. And then they see like fresh meat, and they're like, all right, let's take this for all that it is. And so, we worked on things like seniority and holding space and golding the class, sending and controlling the energy in the classroom before the kids even walk in the door, and things like that just helped me step up into who I wanted to become, and also, really hold the room in a way that I couldn't before. And it's just in all aspects of my life.